on with Jimmy Spencer, who qualified 5th quick for this race last year. Do you have to hold your breath at a place as fast as this?
Lucky it only takes us 30 seconds, you know. Now it's in the 29s, but, you know, yeah, this track is awesome. It's fast. You know, the key, Dick, is to be very comfortable. How can you be comfortable at 190-something mile an hour? Well, if the car doesn't move around. That's the whole key of this qualifying today. Then more important than anything is the 300-some-odd laps that we're going to run, 500 miles, is to be very, very consistent, smooth on Sunday. And that's what we're hoping for with the Sirius Dodge.
Hope it works for you. Good luck. Thanks.
Well, I've caught up with Tony Stewart. Man, where did that lap come from?
I don't know. I saw that you were down here doing pit interviews, and that since they upgraded the talent here on pit lane, I figured I had to upgrade what I was doing on the racetrack. So we made some changes. Greg Zipadelli made some big changes before qualifying there, and you know, we listened to what Bobby did on his run and how the grip level you know, it stayed the same. So it gave me the confidence we could go a little bit quicker.
Well, you seem to like Atlanta, and you always seem like to rise to the occasion. How things look for Sunday?
I tell you what, after that qualifying lap right there, I'm pretty excited. Our cars normally race a lot better than we qualify here, so you know, I'm pretty excited. I mean, you know, having Home Depot and Coca-Cola here in town, it's nice to do good, you know, where their headquarters are. So I probably get pretty amped up for this race.
Well, it was a good run right there by Tony Stewart. Good luck on Sunday, and we got another good run going by Jimmy Spencer.
4th quickest, and he lost it. It's like he wasn't able to get in the throttle off turn 4 because he was on the pole all the way around to the middle of turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and went up the hill there. I think he'll be shutting her down.
He went up the hill. Now he's going to come in the garage, but that's a good run, and this is the same car those guys ran in Las Vegas. I talked to Tommy Baldwin. They had the car they intended on racing here in the wind tunnel Monday night. Didn't like what he saw in the wind tunnel numbers. When the truck got back, they decided to flip this car around and bring it here.
And, you know, he said they were trying to figure out a name for the dog on the hood. I know what it ought to be.
What?
Mongo.
I'm with you, man.
You know, there's one thing that I got out of that interview with Tony Stewart. Hammond has got to him.
Oh, yeah. What's the payoff, Hammond?
Well, the payoff right now, guys, is this. There's no payoff. I just want to let you know a little bit of information. You know how, Larry Mack, you're always keeping up with the weather, buddy? It's starting to cool off out here quite a bit. Some of these cars are starting to find some speed, kind of surprising us. Track temperatures drop down now about 80 degrees. It's starting to cool off as far as air temperatures. Think about that horsepower going up. So conditions right now may favor some of these guys toward the end.
Yeah, I mean, the track temperature, you said at 80 degrees. Remember when we started, Jeff, it was 86 degrees, and everything about these race cars like those cooler temperatures here in Atlanta. The motors like it, like you said. The race car likes it. Everything likes it.
That was just Hammond showing off since Tony made the comment about upgrading the talent down there.
I can't believe y'all let the dog on Spencer's hood. They should name him Mongo.
I'm with you all the way.
Well, yeah, nobody said it. I mean, you looked at me like, what's up with that?
I was thinking about it for a minute, but I like that.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
It is a good name.
The dog on the hood. They're looking for a name for it.
Mongo.
We like it.
Did we not explain? Did we not?
Where is he? Show me Mongo.
Did we not tell Darrell how
Look,
much we loved it?
does that not look like Mongo?
Yes.
Here, boy. Yeah.
Mongo like Atlanta.
Yeah, Mongo like Atlanta. Go fast.
What part of yes did you not understand? We were with you,
Well, you went right to Hammond, and that just bothered me, you know.
Well, I've caught up with a man right now who said, man, that car was loose, Jimmy Spencer, but a good lap.
Thanks, Jeff. It was loose, you know, I'll tell you, but it, you know, the track got hot for some, you know, the sun came out, the track got hot. I wanted to run another lap, but I said to Tom, man, I'll tell you what, but I didn't know what this lap is. It's pretty free. And you just don't have a whole lot to give up here. And if you're tight here, you really scrub a lot of speed off. And if you're loose here, you go real fast. And that was just a little too loose. I had to wait to put the throttle to it. But that's better than we thought. We thought we could run a high teen, low 20, and a 12 is really good for the Sirius Dodge.
Well, things are starting to come together here with Jimmy Spencer and Tommy Baldwin.
Well, Spencer keeps saying, you know, that this team's got, and we said last week, got a lot of resources. Tommy Baldwin and him are working well together. I think Spence could get it done.
I thought Hammond was going to sell your name, Mongo, to Spence.
Yeah, he was scared to.
Oh.
Darrell, I caught back up with Jimmy Spencer, and you said I wouldn't ask him the question. Hey, Darrell wants to name your dog. Is that okay?
Well, I tell you, I love Darrell Waltrip, but I got to be careful what he names him now because, you know, he's been known to do some dumb things.
Well, if you look right now on your hood, we've named your dog.
Mongo? Darrell, where did you come up with that name, Darrell?
It just seemed like it's just a perfect name for you and the car and the dog.
I can't hear him.
Well, he said he thought it was a perfect name for the dog and everything. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, here, just talk to him.
Get on there, Spence. Let me explain this to you.
All right, DW, go ahead, baby.
Let me explain this to you.
Okay, I mean,
just think about it. If you got Mongo on the hood, you know, Mongo no like whoever's in your way. Mongo, you can blame everything on Mongo.
Darrell,
Blame
I
it on
knew
Mongo.
that's why I had you as my teammate.
Yeah.
You are the answer, baby. Thanks, Darrell.
Yeah.
That's a good analysis. Any trouble on Sunday, it's Mongo's fault.
That's right. Blame it on Mongo. Mongo did it.
The dog is now named Mongo.
I like Mongo.
I love the Blazing Saddles reference.
Oh yeah, it's a perfect fit for Spencer. Trust me, I know that.
Here comes Mongo.
Yeah,
That's
Mongo,
what we've named the dog on the
dog
hood.
on the hood, and he is coming, baby. Oh. Come on there, Spence.
Would you say that dog's hunting today?
That baby's got his nose down and his tail up.
And he's right around the bottom of the racetrack. You see Elliott start to run the high side. Now, that don't necessarily mean his car's not driving good, even though Spencer's going to go by him for second. But that's the great thing about this place. They'll run the high side, they'll run the low side.
What that means is he looked back and he saw Mongo on the hood. He said, I think I'll move up a little bit and give him some room.
Whoa!
Baby!
Textbook definition, loose.
I mean,
all that is you're coming off of there, Mike, Larry, you got the wheels turned hard left, you're underneath somebody, you're accelerating 800 horsepower, and all of a sudden that front end catches and the back end swings out.
and he had to jump out of the throttle. And you saw Tony Stewart in the 20 car able to pull right up beside him, and Bobby Labonte, his teammate in the 18.
Man,
now Spencer gets some momentum back.
It almost looked like something happened to Elliott going in there that time, or else they were just coming that much faster than he was.
Rusty Wallace has now caught that pack, and so has Jimmy Johnson.
Yes, he has. You know, we heard in his interview in the pre-race, he was happy with his race car, started back in 11th, and he's up there right on the rear bumper of Rusty Wallace.
I looked for Rusty Wallace to have a pretty good day today. He's really been concerned about how his car has been fast like it was at Rockingham, but he ended up not winning the race. They've made a lot of changes to compensate for that today.
And he's as hungry for a win as that dog on Spencer's hood.
Got the gusto of a hungry hound.
But right now, that 48 car, he's hungry as he pulls underneath Rusty Wallace. You see the Fox track right there. He's about a little over 3 seconds behind Ryan Newman. Rusty on the high side was able to keep the momentum down the front stretch, though, coming off 4. Darrell, it almost looked like Jimmy's out handling Rusty, but I believe Rusty's handling pretty good down that straightaway.
That's where I like for him to handle, down that straightaway, baby. It makes your job a lot easier when you can pass them in a straight line.
Boy, we got a battle right here, though, for second with these 4 cars. Bill Elliott, Jimmy Spencer, Tony Stewart, Bobby Labonte. It's 7 cars, actually.
Yeah, Joe Nemechek's caught them now. The red car at the top of the screen. There.
And don't be surprised if at some point in time today we don't say that 25 car's got a pretty good chance of winning this race.
And this is a good battle right here, but while these guys are doing this battling, Ryan Newman, the leader, he's pulled out to almost a 3-second lead.
He's down about Macon right now. I don't know. These other boys at Griffin.
Bye-bye.
I mean, you see that group right there, you almost see 3 different grooves, 3 different lines they're running through the corner. One on the bottom, one in the middle, and one on the high side. It's good to see Jimmy Spencer running good in that 7 car. I mean, we've talked to him, Darrell. He's got confidence right now in his race car and in what he's doing. And I think maybe he's going to show somebody, I can still drive one of these race cars.
Well, I think Jimmy's one of those kind of drivers, you've got to listen to what he's telling you and give him what he wants. He is a driver that knows what it takes to go fast, but you got to give it to him. You can't just argue with him.
Now the drivers, since we've cycled through pit stops that have fell back the furthest, led by our top 10 leader, Mongo Waltrip.
And John Andretti, he's fallen back that far because he just made another pit stop under green for 4 more tires. Must have had a problem on that car.
Yeah, Mongo, he could eat Michael's car up today because it's dog meat.
Dick Berggren.
Well, that old Mongo car isn't running as well as Jimmy Spencer would like. Actually, he has just called his pit area and said he has a vibration. He thinks it's either a tire or it's a brake rotor. Spencer has run in the top 10 all day. I talked to both he and his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin, this morning, and both of them thought that they had a shot to win this race today. It has been so long since Jimmy Spencer has won a race, 275 events ago. Last year, almost won at Bristol. Kurt Busch knocked him out of the win in the spring. Running up front at Richmond. Tangled with Jimmy Johnson, lost that one. 2 heartbreakers he maybe should have won, and now he's got a vibration while running in the top 10.
Dick, when you're out there running 190 miles an hour and they say pit next time by, your brakes are ice cold. when you come down to the end of pit lane and try to bring that thing on pit lane as hot as you can, sometimes you can warp a rotor or you can get buildup from the brake pad on the rotor. And when you go back out, you've picked up a vibration and you don't know if it's the tires or the brakes. 99 times out of 100, it's the brakes.
Well, Jimmy Spencer had the 1 in 100. It was a tire that was the source of his vibration. The tire wasn't, wheel I should say, wasn't attached firmly enough to the car. Just a little bit of a wiggle to it. And just before he pitted, Spencer called it. He said he was pretty sure it was on the right side. They did change all 4, so his car should be fine for the rest of the day.
Tough break for Spence. He's now 2 laps down.
This caution was also a huge break for Jimmy Spencer. He had to make an unscheduled pit stop due to a right rear wheel that was vibrating on him. He went from 33rd after that pit stop all the way up to 7th. And just a few moments ago, he came on the radio and told his crew the vibration is gone and Mongo is still barking. Mongo is the name of the dog on the hood of the car, named yesterday by Darrell Waltrip.
Get that dog a bone.
In other words, Mongo like caution flag this time.
Mongo happy. Tail wagging.
If you don't know, Mongo was the character played by Alex Karras in the great comedy Blazing Saddles.
Jimmy Spencer and that group in the 7 car, they were not in their pit box. They had to back him up, so he's pretty much going to go out dead last of the lead lap cars, other than it looks like maybe Dave Blaney.
Pretty crowded down at that end of the pit road there, Larry. All the good cars are right down there together. A little harder to get in, get out.
Here's some close company.
No, let me tell you, we talk about cautions breed cautions. Let me show you why. If you look at the screen here, you see the one car coming down low. He's coming off at turn 4 down here. And as he comes off the corner, the car picks up a little push and right into the left rear of Mongo.
Oh, don't make Mongo mad.
Mongo had to really pull his tail in there to keep from getting it knocked off.
Mad dog, no biscuit.
And now in real time, it's ugly.
But now, how is that different from last week when Steve's car washed up and got into Dale Jarrett?
Well, you got more banking here. You got a little bit different situation. Last week the track was pretty flat. And, coming off the corner there, you got a little bit better control than you do right in the middle of the corner like we saw last week.
Is the engine departments. It's been a long time since we've seen this many engine failures at a racetrack in one race.
Might be some Dodge guys working a little hard this week, too, because I didn't see too many of them in the top 10. So Chevys and Fords look like kind of dominated today. Chevys mostly.
5 Chevys in the top 10, 2 Dodges, 3 Fords.
3 Fords.
And some guys in that top 10 that needed some good runs. Jimmy Spencer, Dave Blaney, great run for him. Joe Nemechek as well.